might narrate.
Yo, what's going
Seriously?
on? Seriously?
The all-new Audi Q3.
Why the Trackhawk Is Never Stopped.
Yeah, I don't know what this
I just put on another video, but I want to watch this shit. Let's go watch this shit.
It's 2:17 a.m. on the 110 freeway south of downtown Los Angeles. An LAPD sergeant's 2 car lengths behind a black Jeep and Cherokee Trackhawk doing 142 in a 65 zone. The cruiser's a Ford Explorer.
Shit's trying to embarrass me right now. My bad, y'all. Let's get to this shit right now, though.
Just a little bit. We leave it like this.
Interceptor. The cruiser's been at full throttle for the last 40 seconds. The Trackhawk's been pulling away the entire time. The sergeant's radio's already calling for air support because air support's the only thing left that can keep up. The driver of the Jeep hasn't checked his mirror in 11 seconds. He doesn't need to. He knows the cop can't catch him. This is the math every American police pursuit's running into now, and the math doesn't favor the cop. The math starts with one number that shouldn't exist on the same spec sheet as the words family SUV, 707 horsepower, supercharged 6.2-liter V8, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, top speed of 180 miles per hour. Read those numbers again. They belong to a Jeep with 5 seats, a heated steering wheel, and a 7,200-pound towing capacity. It'll do school drop-off in the morning and beat a Ferrari 458 to 60 in the afternoon. That's the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Dodge's parent company built it between 2017 and 2021 by taking the same supercharged Hellcat engine they put in the Charger and the Challenger and bolting it into the most popular SUV body Jeep ever sold. Then they put it on dealer lots next to the regular Grand Cherokees. Anyone with $90,000 and a credit check could drive one home. Best estimates put total Trackhawk production somewhere north of 10,000 units across the 4 model years. Most of them are now in suburban driveways doing exactly what their owners bought them for. Hauling kids, towing boats, looking unremarkable in a Whole Foods parking lot. A small percentage of them aren't. Every American police department in 2026 is running into the same problem with the small percentage. The Ford Police Interceptor utility, the standard pursuit vehicle for roughly 2/3 of U.S. departments, tops out at 148 miles per hour. The Dodge Charger Pursuit comes in lower. The Chevy Tahoe PPV lower than that. The fastest cruiser in any American police fleet hits a wall at 148, and the Trackhawk clears that wall by over 30 miles per hour. Do that subtraction on a straight stretch of interstate, and the result's a cruiser watching taillights shrink. The sergeant on the 110 wasn't undertrained. The cruiser wasn't underpowered for 98% of the cars on the road. The math broke on the 2%. And the 2%'s getting more common every year. That's the surface answer, and it's where most explanations stop. The Trackhawk's faster, the cruisers aren't. Case closed. The surface answer's incomplete.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, 707 horsepower, 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine, 645. I don't know, I'm not gonna act like I know what LBFT mean, of torque, and 0 to 60 miles per hour of 3.5 seconds. The Dodge Charger Pursuit standard 3.6-liter V6, 292 horsepower.
The highest they go is 370.
Or optional 5.7 Hemi V8. 370 horsepower engine available.
Still not close.
And all-wheel drive, V8 only, and reinforced suspension. So I mean they can go over a lot of good bumps and all that shit. But yo, not even close. 700 to 300 is like, yo, like, let's have a field day. Come on, that's crazy.
Cruisers aren't. Case closed. The surface answer's incomplete. Speed alone doesn't explain why these chases keep failing, because American police pursuits have been losing on speed for 2 decades. The Hellcat Charger does the same top speed. The Demon does more. A used Lambo off of auctions faster than a Trackhawk in a straight line. Speed by itself isn't the problem. The problem's what the Trackhawk does with its speed that the others can't. That math again. A Lambo doing 180 on the 110 freeway in Los Angeles isn't getting away from the police. It's getting away from the cruiser directly behind it for about 90 seconds until the freeway curves or traffic appears or the rear tire catches a piece of debris and the chase ends in a guardrail. A Lamborghini's a track car wearing a license plate. It can't change lanes at 140. It can't brake from 140 in less distance than a delivery van. It can't do any of that in the rain. The Trackhawk does all of it. The same quadra-track active 4-wheel drive system that lets a base model Grand Cherokee crawl through a Colorado snowstorm's also what keeps 707 horsepower planted to the asphalt at 140 miles per hour through a wet S-curve. 4-wheel.
This machine could change t-shirt printing forever. I printed this t-shirt with the back neck.
Wheel drive launch, 4-wheel drive grip, 4-wheel drive recovery when a back tire steps out at 130. The closest thing to it on the American police chase circuit isn't a supercar. It's an AWD Audi RS6, and there are fewer than 1,000 of those on US roads. The Trackhawk's not just fast. The Trackhawk's the only mass-market vehicle that combines supercar power with full-time 4-wheel drive and a 5,300-pound chassis that can absorb a pit maneuver and keep going. That's the hidden mechanism, and it's the part that rewrote pursuit policy in 3 states. The pit maneuver, precision immobilization technique, is the standard tool American police use to end a chase without firing a shot. A cruiser comes up alongside the fleeing vehicle's rear quarter panel, makes contact, and steers through the contact to spin the suspect car out. It works on sedans, it works on coupes, it works on most SUVs. It doesn't work on a Trackhawk. The Trackhawk's too heavy and too planted. A 5,300-pound 4-wheel drive vehicle running active torque vectoring doesn't spin when a 4,800-pound cruiser hits its corner. It absorbs the contact. The 4-wheel drive system reallocates power to the wheels with grip, and the Jeep keeps going while the cruiser ends up in the median. That's not theoretical. It's what happened on Interstate 10 outside Houston in 2022 when a stolen Hellcat-powered Mopar took 5 different law enforcement agencies through Harris County traffic at speed. Official reports stopped recording at 140. The chase ended only when the car ran out of gas at the Winnie exit. Read that again. The chase ended on fuel, not on enforcement. The Houston case is the cleanest data point, but every department running interceptors has a version of it. The Florida Highway Patrol's been losing Trackhawks and Hellcats on I-95 so consistently that in 2024, the agency publicly defended its pursuit aggressive posture by issuing a statement saying it uses every tool and tactic available, language that reads as a budget request as much as a policy statement. The tools aren't keeping up. In 2023, Peachtree City, Georgia, police pulled over a 29-year-old named DeMarquian Mobley because his Trackhawk had illegal window tint. Mobley had outstanding warrants from multiple agencies, including aggravated assault on a police officer. He took off. The chase ran north on Highway 74 through Tyrone and into Fairburn at 125 miles per hour. Officers only caught him because traffic slowed him down. 74 through Tyrone and into Fairburn at 125 miles per hour. Officers only caught him because traffic slowed him down enough for a perimeter to form. The Peachtree City police spokesman, talking to local press afterward, called Mobley 100% a professional criminal who goes about his business committing all of these violent felonies without a care in the world because he has a vehicle that can pretty much get away from anybody. That's a police spokesman on the record saying the suspect's vehicle was the reason they couldn't make a routine stop. Think about what that actually means. The car's the loophole. The car's why the warrant didn't matter for 20 miles. This is the hidden mechanism the surface answer skips. The Trackhawk doesn't just win straight line races against police interceptors. The Trackhawk wins in traffic, in curves, in weather, against the pit maneuver, and across the time horizon of a chase long enough for the cruiser's tank to drain. Every variable that's supposed to favor the police in a 2026 pursuit favors the Jeep. And the Jeep's available to anyone with a credit score and $90,000. The same way a Glock's available at any FFL dealer. The same way a Ducati Panigale's available at any motorcycle shop. The system that's supposed to limit access to vehicles that can outrun law enforcement assumes those vehicles will be exotic, rare, and impractical. The Trackhawk's none of those things. The Trackhawk's a Jeep. So police departments started doing the only thing they could. They stopped chasing. In Buffalo, pursuits in response to a traffic violation, a misdemeanor, or a non-violent felony got banned outright in the 2000s. Albany requires officers to consider the threat to the public against the seriousness of the offense before initiating any chase at all. New York City limits pursuit authority to the most serious and violent crimes. Routine traffic infractions don't qualify. Milwaukee adopted a similar policy in 2010 after a series of pursuit-related civilian deaths. The list runs longer than that. The pattern's nationwide. These aren't soft on crime policies.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
They're math policies. The New York Attorney General's office published a report in 2025 noting that pursuit-related crashes killed an average of 355 people a year in the United States between 1996 and 2015. About a third of those killed weren't the suspect or the officer. They were bystanders, pedestrians, drivers in unrelated vehicles, passengers who didn't know what was happening until a Trackhawk doing 140 came across the center line. When the suspect's vehicle can hit 180 on a city freeway, the public safety calculus shifts. Chasing a Hellcat through Atlanta traffic at midnight isn't enforcement anymore. It's a coin flip on civilian casualties. The departments that did the math first started writing pursuit rules that effectively said, if you're not stopping a violent felony in progress, don't initiate. This is the part most people miss. The Trackhawk doesn't outrun the cruiser. The Trackhawk outruns the supervisor on the radio telling the unit to back off. The chase ends before it starts because the policy gave up the territory first. Here's the part that breaks the model. The professional criminals figured this out before the departments finished writing the policy. And the theft method itself's gotten frictionless. The current standard's an OBD port programmer, a handheld device that plugs into the diagnostic port under the steering wheel and writes a new key fob to the car's computer in about 30 seconds. Break the rear passenger window, reach in, plug in, program, drive away. The whole sequence takes under 3 minutes, and the original key fob, the one sitting in a Faraday pouch on the owner's nightstand, is now irrelevant. Theft rates on Hellcat-powered vehicles, including the Trackhawk, have climbed steadily since 2020, according to insurance industry data. The cars aren't being stolen for joyrides, they're being stolen for runs. Guys hauling stolen guns, stolen merchandise, drug shipments, untaxed cash, because driving a Trackhawk on a known smuggling route meant any cop who saw a moving violation had to weigh whether his department's policy let him chase. In an increasing number of jurisdictions, the answer was no. The Jeep cleared the next county line before the radio call finished. The same vehicle that broke pursuit policy by being too fast then became more valuable to the people pursuit policy was supposed to deter. The criminals didn't beat the police. The police gave up the territory and the criminals moved into it. Forget the horsepower for a second. The horsepower was a delivery mechanism. What actually changed American street-level enforcement was a Jeep dealership in a strip mall selling a vehicle that quietly rewrote the cost-benefit math of every traffic stop in the country. That's where the twist lives. The Trackhawk got discontinued in 2021. Stellantis killed the Hellcat engine across the entire lineup by 2024. On paper, the problem should be solving itself. No more Trackhawks built, the existing fleet ages out, prices crash, the cars get parted out or wrapped around trees, and pursuit math returns to normal. That's not what happened. Used Trackhawk prices went up after discontinuation. A 2019 Trackhawk that sold for $72,000 in 2022 is selling for $84,000 in 2026. A 2021 model with low miles trades hands at original MSRP. The car got more valuable after they stopped making it, because the buyers who wanted one for the reason police departments are worried about already knew the supply was finite. And the engineering won't die. Hennessy, the Texas tuning shop that built its name on supercharged Mopars, sells a 1,200 horsepower upgrade kit for the Trackhawk, the HPE 1200. That takes 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 down to 2.3. Top speed claim from Hennessy is over 200 miles per hour. The pursuit math that was already lost at 180 doesn't survive at 200 plus. The departments that adopted restrictive pursuit policies in response to the 707 horsepower problem are now staring at the 1,200 horsepower aftermarket version of the same problem. The car got faster after they stopped building it. The fleet got bigger because every Hellcat owner in America watched the discontinuation announcement and decided to hold. And the policy response that worked when the problem was supercharged sedans doesn't scale to supercharged everything. The Trackhawk's the cleanest case study, but the same engineering patterns now playing out across half the cars on American roads. The Dodge Durango Hellcat, same engine, 3 rows, school run silhouette. The Ram TRX, same engine, pickup truck, hauls drywall and outruns every state trooper on the highway. The Cadillac Escalade V, 682 horsepower, supercharged, weighs 3 tons. Any cardiologist can buy one. Even Ford's getting into it with the Mustang GTV, a street-legal coupe pushing past 800 horsepower. Every one of these vehicles takes a different American category: family SUV, pickup truck, luxury barge, sports coupe, and quietly attaches a supercharger that defeats every pursuit vehicle in the cruiser fleet. The Trackhawk was the first one to break the rules. It won't be the last one, and the rule book's already written for a problem 2 generations of horsepower behind where the market actually is. The Trackhawk didn't break American pursuit enforcement on purpose. It broke it as a side effect of an internal Jeep marketing exercise. Let's put the Hellcat engine in the family SUV and see what happens. What happened was that a 5,300-pound grocery getter accidentally became the most pursuit-resistant production vehicle in American history, and the system designed to chase it spent 5 years writing policies to avoid having to try. So the question isn't whether the Trackhawk's faster than the cops. The cops already know it is. The question's whether American police departments admit out loud what their pursuit policies already admit quietly, that the cars built to chase criminals can no longer catch the cars criminals actually drive, and that the only way to win the chase now is to not start one. Did Stellantis go too far by selling 707 horsepower to anyone with a credit check, or did they just sell the market exactly what it was already willing to pay for? Drop your answer in the comments. If you want more breakdowns of the cars that
Listen, man, that was a great video. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all. Like.